Welcome and good afternoon. This is Commish Orr. Today it's time for Game 5 of the American League Championship Series between the 1998 New York Yankees and the 1990 Oakland Athletics. It's a best-of-5 series, and this is Game 5. A lot on the line today. Let's take a look at what's happened prior to this in the series. Game 1 and 2 were crazy. Game 1, the Yankees had an early 3-1 lead before Oakland came back. They took a 6-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th before the Yankees scored 5 runs to take a lead, an 8-6 lead at that point. But Mariano Rivera has had trouble in the tournament. And this time was no different, as he allowed 4 straight base hits, including a 2-run homer from Jose Canseco that tied the game, and another 2 runs to Carney Lansford later in the inning before he was removed, which put Oakland up 10-8. New York would get one back in the bottom of the 9th, but fall short to lose Game 1. And that's kind of been the story for the New York Yankees in this tournament. They've found ways to lose. What can you say? They're the top-ranked team in the 1990s. 1998 Yankees are the top-ranked team in the 1990s. However, they've not been showing it. This is after they came out of the elimination bracket. The next game was much of the same. This time, Oakland took a 4-0 lead in the second. Yankees scored 6 runs in the 4th inning to take their own lead. Oakland came right back with 3 more in the 5th. That made it 7-6. The Yankees tied it up in the bottom of the 5th. They scored in the bottom of the 6th to take a lead, thanks to Jorge Posada's solo home run. They took a 1-run lead into the 9th, when once again, Mariano Rivera blows a save, his second in 2 games, as Dave Henderson hits a home run in the 9th to tie things up. But this time, the Yankees would score in the bottom of the 9th after Darryl Strawberry walked to lead off the inning. Oakland turned things over to Dennis Eckersley. Eckersley promptly allowed Chad Curtis single, intentionally walked Jorge Posada to load the bases. Remember, the game was tight at this point. He did strike out Scott Brosius and got Chuck Knobloch to fly out to shallow left field. Looked like he would get out of the inning, but Luis Sojo, who was only playing because Derek Jeter got ejected in the 8th inning after being hit by a pitch, Sojo has the game-winning RBI single, and the Yankees tied the series up. Heading to Game 3, it wasn't as close, though Oakland had a 3-1 lead into the 8th inning. The Yankees scored 6 runs in the 8th after Scott Sanderson for Oakland allowed just 1 run in 7 innings. It was spoiled by Oakland relief. This time there would be no close call or comeback, and New York took Game 3 7-3. But then Oakland turned things over to Dave Stewart, who held the Yankees to just 4 hits in a shutout. So the Yankees get shut out to tie the series up, send things back to New York. Now, let's take a look at the tournament bracket. Focus on the American League side, because, by the way, in the National League, the Braves were down 2-0 in the NL Championship Series and won 3 straight to topple the Expos. And so the Braves are in the 1990s Best of the Decades World Series, representing the National League. Now, in the American League, you'll notice the Yankees are coming out of the losers bracket, so Oakland has not lost a series yet. So even if New York wins today, they'll force another series, a best-of-7 series, if they can win today. But if they lose today, they are going home, and Oakland will advance to the World Series to play the Atlanta Braves. You can catch all this action over at baseballmaelstrom.com, by the way. So, with everything on the line, we are ready to go. There's some light rain falling in the stadium. In fact, I think wind's blowing out to left. It's October 5th here. 69 degrees. Wind blowing out to left. Some light rain falling, which is going to make challenges a little bit more difficult for the fielders. We're in Yankee Stadium. Oakland has a couple of injuries that they've been contesting with. They both occurred in the last game. Willie McGee is out for the rest of the tournament. And Dave Henderson is out for a few games as well. So with two of their outfielders injured, they've had to resort to bringing in somebody who they don't really want out there, but they have to. And that is Lance Blankenship. Now, I guess I should pull that up. Let's pull up Oakland's defense here. There we go. Now they have Blankenship here on it. All right. So this is the Oakland lineup today. Leading off in left field will be Ricky Henderson. He's at batting .463 in the tournament. He has been a terror. 5 homers, 11 stolen bases. A great leadoff hitter here. Batting second at third base is Carney Lansford. Batting third and right field is Jose Canseco. Bash Brother time here. Mark McGuire in the cleanup spot at first base. Jamie Quirk off the bench to be DHing this game. Walt Weiss at shortstop, batting 6th. Willie Randolph batting 7th at second base. Terry Steinbach will be catching today, batting 8th. And Blankenship will be in center field. He only played 1 game in center field all season, but he is the only other roster player who had any time at center field. He'll be out there in center today and batting 9th for Oakland. On the mound for Oakland will be Bob Welch. He has had some success recently, and he'll be facing off against El Duque, Orlando Hernandez for the New York Yankees, who got roughed up in his last start against Oakland. The Yankees lineup will be leading off Chuck Knobloch at second base. Batting second, Derek Jeter playing shortstop. Paul O'Neill in right field batting third. Bernie Williams cleaning things up in center field. Tino Martinez batting 5th at first base. Darryl Strawberry DHing today, batting 6th. Chad Curtis in left field, batting 7th. Jorge Posada is catching and batting 8th. And Scott Brocious will be playing third base, not Blankenship. I may have to reload these Yankees. Make sure that they have things correct here. All right. Let's get rid of that and pull this over. All right. So that's what we have here to start things off. I have everything set up. I have done recently how to play season ticket baseball, so I'll kind of mention things as we go along here. I do have a little couple of defensive cheat sheets, so I don't have to flip through the cards as much down here. With all that said, we are ready to go for the first pitch. This is my dice roller, by the way. I'll mention that as we go along as well. So Ricky Henderson leading things off against Orlando Hernandez. Yankee fans are loud today. It's a do or die for them. And 184 is going to be a leadoff walk to Henderson. Not the way you want to start things with a speedster out there. Let's see. He will definitely see about getting a lead because his speed of 8 is higher than Posada's arm of 6. Does he get a lead? 7 plus his steal would be 11. That is not greater than 10 plus the hold of 4 for Hernandez, so that's a 14. So Henderson does not get a good lead here, and he will stay put. brings up Carney Lansford. 658 is a stadium result. I'll bring things over here to Yankee Stadium. And infield isn't in, so 6-4. It's a grounder to short. Jeter will flip to second. And they get Rickey off the base paths. They can't turn two, though. So Lansford is now at first. Lansford not with a great amount of speed. Brings up Jose Canseco. 390. And he strikes him out. It's a first strikeout for Hernandez here. Fooled Canseco on that one. Brings up Mark McGwire. 2 down. Runner on first. 6-0-1, and that's going to get them out of it here. 6-0-1 is a double play ball to short. Jeter will flip to Knobloch, and that will be out number 3. So Yankees get a clean inning here in the first after that leadoff walk to Henderson. We head to the bottom of the first. Bob Welch facing off against Knobloch. Knobloch not hitting very well, only 176 here, but does get on base a decent amount with his walks. 599, that's going to be a base hit, I'm sure. Canseco, 599, and that's a single. Easy single to right field here for Knobloch to lead things off for the Yankees. And he will take a look at stealing. Welch is very good at holding runners on, though. 12 plus a steal is a 15. And 10 plus a hold of 18. So he is not going anywhere. One good thing is Welch does have a hold of 8. So not very many chances for runners to take advantage there. That brings up Derek Jeter. Jeter hitting .347 in the tournament. Has come in clutch many times. And that one gets by Steinbach. That's going to be a pass ball. Jeter will move up to second. Or Knobloch, will move up to second, taking advantage of that pass ball. 658 becomes a 668 for the home team. And a 668 is a wild pitch. Wow, a couple of wildness here in the first inning. As that one also gets by Steinbach. Oakland just shaking their head a little bit. And now we have Knobloch on third. Jeter still at the plate. 147. And that is a lazy fly ball to left. Henderson under it. Not deep enough for Knobloch to even attempt to test his arm. 1 away. Paul O'Neill. O'Neill hitting .342 here in the tournament. And 155, that's another easy fly ball to left, almost the same spot. And the Yankees wasting an opportunity here. Now there's 2 outs and a runner on third. Bernie Williams steps in. 207 becomes a 407, and Bernie is going to draw a walk here, a 2-out walk for Williams. Runners on the corners. And we're going to 11 plus his steal is only a 14. So he's not going anywhere on the stealing. Brings up Tino Martinez. Martinez only hitting .226 so far in the tournament. Hoping for a big hit here. 483 is not going to get it. That's a deep. Deep to center. Blankenship under it. And that's going to be out number 3. So the Yankees with a runner on third and nobody out and can't score him. Yankees fans hearing some grumbling out there in the stadium. We head to the second. No score. Hernandez facing off against Jamie Quirk. 403. And Quirk draws a leadoff walk here in the second. Back-to-back leadoff walks. Quirk with no speed. And Walt Weiss will step in. Maybe going to see about bunting here. Runner on first, no outs. A 1. And nope. Weiss's bunt would be a -1. 6 minus a 7. Weiss swinging away. 231. And that's a double play ball. Jeter to Knobloch to Martinez. And just like that, the base runner is gone. as the Yankees turn 2 here in the second. 2 outs now. And Willie Randolph hitting .256 in the tournament. .352. And that is a grounder right to Scott Brocious at third, and he'll throw it across to Martinez, and that is 3 down. So, 2 clean innings here for the Yankees, or scoreless, I should say. Welch will deal against Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry only hit .141. .387, and that one's a dribbler to McGuire. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 2. Chad Curtis is hitting .254 on the tournament. .295, and that's going to be a deep drive to left. Deep drive to left. The wind is blowing out, so we're going to add 1 to this. It's a 10. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus the 1, because the wind's blowing out, is a 15. Deep left 15, and that's going to be a fly out to left. Deep, but not deep enough. Jorge Posada. Posada hitting .267, but he's had some key hits in the tournament. He has 20 RBI. 640, that becomes a 650 for the home team. A 650 is a ground out to third, and that will end the inning. 1-2-3 inning here in the second. We head to the top of the third, still no score. The Yankees were really hoping to get on in the lead here early, but it hasn't happened. Facing the bottom of the order, Terry Steinbach. .383, and that's going to be a base hit. Steinbach hits one right through the infield. And for the third straight inning, they have the leadoff runner on base. Of course, Steinbach not going anywhere. That brings up Lance Blankenship. Blankenship, with a bunt of 8 and a contact of 2, he will try to move the runner over. Ooh. So we're going to add these 3 dice. It's a 2 and a 4. That's a 6. 6 plus the 8 is a 14. And we're going to look at the bunt chart. I believe that's going to move the runner over. Bunting. Oh, no. 14 is a foul ball. There's 2 strikes. 2 strikes on Blankenship. Blankenship only hit .191 that year. With 2 strikes, they are going to still try to lay down a bunt. He was a good bunter. So 5 plus 1 is 6, 10, 18 this time. That's probably going to do it. And 18 is a sack to the pitcher. Okay, so dribbler back to the pitcher. And that moves Steinbach over to second, as Hernandez will toss that one to first for the easy out. So Oakland now with a runner in scoring position here. 1 down and back to the top of the order with Ricky. 348. 348. That's a dribbler, and Ricky has enough speed to beat this one out. An infield single. That'll put runners on the corners with just 1 out. Ricky definitely going to try to see about stealing here. 8 plus a steal is 12, and not high enough. He stays put. Lansford, and Yankees are going to play for the double play. Corners are in. 497. 497. That is going to be deep enough. That is a deep fly ball to center. And Williams will have it. And no chance to catch Steinbach. That's going to be a sac fly. And Oakland takes a 1-0 lead here in the third inning. So Jose Canseco, 2 down. Ricky on first. 369, and he strikes him out. 2 strikeouts for Canseco now. That's also the second for Hernandez. So Oakland putting some pressure on with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Bottom of the order for New York. 465. And that's going to be a base hit. Brocious only hitting 217 on the series, or in the tournament. And he singles here to lead off the third. I don't believe. Well, he's going to see 10 plus. Nope. Welch's hold is an 8, so he's going to have to beat an 18. He does not do it. So Knobloch swinging away here, and that's going to be a walk. 200 is a redirect 400, and that is a walk for Knobloch. Yankees threatening here in the third with runners on first and second, nobody out. That brings up Derek Jeter. Swinging away, and he strikes him out. Jeter takes a cut but misses, and that's one down here in the third. A big strikeout here for Welch. Brings up Paul O'Neill. 585. That's to Blankenship in center, and he doesn't have a great range out there. And that one's going to be in the gap, and that is going to be to the wall. His arm is only a 1. And O'Neill's speed is a 5, so he's going to challenge here. 8 plus the speed is a 13. 10 plus the arm is only an 11. And he is going to make it pretty easily here. Paul O'Neill takes advantage of Blankenship, who misread the play. And he'll be into third with a triple here. The Yankees now have a 2-1 lead. Oakland, they have to be wondering what could have happened with McGee out in center, or even Dave Henderson, both of which are injured for a few more games. While Dave Henderson is, he would have gotten to it. Bernie Williams, still only one down, runner on third. Infield's in. He strikes him out. 2 strikeouts for Welch here in the third inning. Now that brings up Tino Martinez. 130, and Martinez flies out to deep right near the warning track. But Canseco will have room, and he hauls it in for out number 3. The Yankees score 2 runs, taking advantage of Blankenship there in center field. We head to the top of the fourth. New York up 2-1. Hernandez deals to McGuire. 453. And McGuire grounds this one to second. Knobloch over to first for out number 1. It's the first inning that they have not had the lead runner on base. Jamie Quirk. Quirk walked in his last at bat. 680 on the stadium card is going to be a base hit. Base hit in the gap. Quirk will round first, in with a single. Walt Weiss, 1 down, runner on first. 368. And that's another grounder to second. Knobloch flips to Jeter. They try to turn 2, but Weiss beats the throw to first. They do get the lead runner, though. So now Weiss is on first with 2 down. That brings up Willie Randolph. 362. That's a right to Brocious, who throws to first, but overthrows. That's going to be an error on the throw. And Weiss will move to third on that 2-base error. Brocious has had a couple of errors in the tournament. New York hoping that this one doesn't cost them. So, 2 down still. Steinbach, runners on second and third. 345. That's a deep fly to right at the wall. O'Neill has just enough room to haul it in for out number 3. That was close. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Welch dealing to Strawberry. 434. And that's a dribbler in front of the plate. Steinbach jumps out and grabs it, throws to McGuire. Strawberry's out at first. Chad Curtis. Curtis flew out to left in his last at bat. 412. He draws a walk here. The Yankees have been pretty good about working the count today. And Curtis, 10+1, he's not going to attempt to steal. But Jorge Posada steps in. 344, and he strikes him out. Posada down on strikes. That's a third strikeout for Welch today. He had 2 last inning. So 2 down, and Brocious steps up. 662 becomes a 672 for the home team. And a 672 is Brocious gets hit. So he just got nicked by that pitch. And he'll trot down to first. Runners on first and second. Gets back to the top of the order. Welch will have to be careful here. 127. And Knobloch dribbles this one back to the mound. Welch will throw to first for out number 3. So, no runs there in the 4th for the Yankees. Top of the 5th. Still 2-1. Blankenship steps in. 240. Blankenship's a righty. And Blankenship hits this one back to the mound. Hernandez over to first for out number 1. Ricky's been on base both times today. 116, and he strikes him out. Ricky down on strikes. It's only the 3rd strikeout for Hernandez. The other 2 against Canseco. So 2 down, and Lansford. 199. That's hovers in the air and falls into the gap. Lansford will be over to second with a double. A 2-out double here for Oakland in the 5th inning. Brings up Canseco, who struck out both other times he's been up. 547 is a Knobloch, and that's going to be a single to second through past second. And I believe 547, yeah, to right field with 2 outs. With 2 outs, Lansford's going to attempt to test the arm of O'Neill. O'Neill has an arm of 5. Challenge, 16 plus his speed is going to be an 18. That is going to beat O'Neill's arm. So play at the plate. Play at the plate, but not quite in time. As Lansford scores the tying run here on Canseco's single. A 4 and a 4 are both higher than Canseco's running, so he does not advance on the throw. So Canseco with a really key 2-out hit here. Back-to-back base hits for Oakland. And that brings up Mark McGuire with 2 outs. 647. That should do it. 647 is going to be a grounder to second. Knobloch flips to Jeter for out number 3. But not before Oakland takes advantage of back-to-back base hits here. Lansford's double and Canseco's single to tie the score 2-2 here heading into the bottom of the 5th. Welch will face Jeter to lead things off. 460. And that is down the line into the corner. Jeter rounding second. Henderson has trouble but comes up with it, but not in time. The throw to third as Jeter has a leadoff triple here in the 5th inning. Yankees fans loud. Oakland brings the infield in for Paul O'Neill. 336, and it won't matter. O'Neill hits one deep to center. Back near the track, Blankenship hauls it in. but they have no chance of getting Jeter as the Yankees retake the lead here with that sac fly. Yankees up 3-2. Bases now clear with 1 out. 585, and that's to Blankenship again, and that's going to be another double in the gap. Williams into second easily. Blankenship once again, defense in center costing them here in game 5. Tino Martinez steps in. 686 becomes a 696. And a 696 is a walk. So the Yankees threatening here again in the 5th. Only 1 out. Runners on first and second. And Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry has not hit very well at all. And he strikes him out. Strawberry struggles continue as that's out number 2 here. Chad Curtis, 2 down. 475 against a righty, and he strikes him out. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Welch to end the 5th. We head to the 6th. Hernandez eligible, or susceptible to fatigue here, as his stamina is only 5 innings. So every runner will add 1 to his fatigue at this point. Jamie Quirk. And he strikes out Quirk to lead off the inning. Big strikeout there for Hernandez. Walt Weiss steps in. 130, and another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hernandez. I said he's susceptible to fatigue. And he's promptly struck out the first 2 batters here in the 6th. Willie Randolph. 117, and that becomes a 317. That's going to be an infield single for Randolph. Behind on the count. Able to fight it off. And that'll give 1 level of fatigue to Hernandez. Randolph not going to go anywhere. And Terry Steinbach steps in. 248. He is a righty. So that's going to be a hit back to the mound. And Hernandez will throw over to first for out number 3. So another scoreless inning for Hernandez here. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees still up 3-2. Welch also with a 5 stamina, so he will be potentially fatigued this inning for every base runner. So Posada starting things off. 631 becomes a 641. That's not going to be anything. It's a dribbler to McGuire. He takes the bag himself for out number 1. Brocious has been on base both times up. He singled in the 3rd. He got hit by that pitch in the 4th. 284. That's going to be a deep drive to left. 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 1 is 13, because the wind's blowing out. 13 is a fly out to left field. So 2 quick outs here in the 6th. And back to the top of the order for the Yankees. 102 becomes a 302, and he strikes out Knobloch to end the 6th. Welch and Hernandez both pitching pretty well today. We head to the 7th. Hernandez still with 1 level of fatigue here, and he'll face Blankenship to lead off the 7th. 556. That's Brocious, and that's going to be he barely gets a glove on it. Throws over to first and just beats Blankenship for out number 1. Top of the order. 496. And Ricky strikes out, the 2nd strikeout for Henderson. And the 6th for Hernandez. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Lansford. 269. 269 and another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts here to end the 7th. Hernandez has some adrenaline going here in front of the hometown fans. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Let's take a look so far at what we're doing here. Oakland, 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Yankees, 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. So far, both starters have been pretty good at keeping this game close. Derek Jeter, he led off the 5th with a triple, and he'll step in against Welsh here in the 7th. 679 becomes a 689, and that is going to be a double. 689 is a double, so Jeter with another extra base hit, a liner into the gap. Another great leadoff hit for Jeter. And now Welch has 1 level of fatigue to face O'Neill. 230. 230. O'Neill's a lefty. That's going to be a pop-up to third in foul territory. And Lansford's under that for out number 1. Bernie Williams. Williams 1 for 2 today. The walk and a strikeout. 482. That is a deep fly to center. Back near the warning track. Blankenship does haul it in, but that's deep enough that Jeter advances to third on the play. So Jeter on third, 2 outs. Tino Martinez, who walked in his last at bat. 484, and that's another deep fly, but Blankenship has room for out number 3. So we head to the 8th. Hernandez. 1 level of fatigue still. There is some movement in the Yankee bullpen here. But Hernandez is going to attempt to get through the heart of the order here, starting with Jose Canseco. 601. He has 1 level of fatigue, so that's a 611. And he strikes out Canseco. 3 straight strikeouts for Hernandez here. Mark McGwire steps in. 673 becomes a 683 because his 1 level of fatigue, and either way, that was going to be something, I believe. 683 is a base hit. McGwire knocks one into the outfield here, near left field. 2 levels of fatigue now for Hernandez. And McGwire, not much speed. Jamie Quirk. 304, he strikes him out. It's another strikeout for Hernandez. He's had 2 in each of the last 3 innings. Walt Weiss. 669. Now there's 2 levels of fatigue, so that becomes a 689. 689 is a double. That is in the gap. McGwire, though, holds up at third with not much speed. But now Oakland is threatening with runners on second and third and 2 out. It's his 3rd level of fatigue for Hernandez. They are leaving him in to try to get Willie Randolph. 526. Ooh, and he walks him. That loads the bases here. Bases are loaded. 2 down, and that is going to do it for Hernandez. 7 2/3 innings. Gave the Yankees just what they needed here. But now things are a little scary. So 7 2/3. And out comes Mariano Rivera. Rivera coming out for the 4-out save. If he can do it. He has had 2 blown saves just in this series. Oakland, with not a lot of bench depth right now with 2 injuries. Not a lot of bench depth. And the bench depth they have is not very good. Gallego with a 206 batting average on the season. Ron Hassey with a 213. Steinbach's 251 may be the best they have right now. So Steinbach's going to hit away. 616, and that's not going to be anything. Rivera is going to get out of this one with a strikeout. A big strikeout here. Forgot to put him in. Mariano Rivera. Big strikeout here to end the inning. Leaving the bases loaded for Oakland. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Darryl Strawberry facing off against Bob Welch. Welch with only one level of fatigue. He will stay in here so far. 181. And Strawberry just gets his bat on it. It bloops one into the outfield for a leadoff single here in the 8th. And 15 plus steal is 22. Strawberry is going to attempt it. 10 plus his speed is 12, though. He is gunned down at second base. Strawberry, gunned down at second, trying to get into scoring position for the Yankees here. So 1 out, and Chad Curtis. 274, that is a deep left field. 5 plus 4. Chad Curtis's power is a 4. That's a 9 plus 1 because it's blown out to left. That's a 10. Deep left field. 10. That's a base hit, actually. Curtis with 7 speed. Ricky's arm is only a 3. He will attempt it. He'll attempt to get a double here as the ball gets into the corner. 10 challenge. 10 plus speed is 17. It's going to exceed Ricky's arm. And so Curtis with the double here. 1 out. That's 3 levels of fatigue for Welch now. He will face Posada, trying to get through the bottom of the inning here. 447. Welch is a righty, and he strikes him out. Big strikeout there for Welch here. So 2 down, and Brocious to the plate. This probably be the last batter for Welch if he can get him out. Well, either way. 627 plus 40. 3 for the fatigue, 1 for the home team is 667. 667 is a wild pitch. A wild pitch. It's the second of the game. And Curtis now on third base. 563 will likely, yep, that gets them out of the inning as that's right to Walt Weiss. Weiss over to McGuire for out number 3. So Bob Welch pitched a pretty good game today. Allowed 3 runs on 8 hits in 8 innings. Mariano Rivera trying to close things out here in the 9th for the Yankees. If the Yankees can win, then that will lead to a best-of-7 series between Oakland and New York for the American League Championship. But first, Rivera has to get through the 9th, where he's traditionally been shaky, at least in this postseason. Blankenship, 451, and that's a grounder to short. Easy ground ball for out number 1. Ricky struck out his last 2 at-bats. 670. That's going to be something. No, it's a wild pitch. Nobody on base. 379. And that one's hit right to Brocious at third. He sends it over to first for out number 2. Yankees fans on their feet. Lansford steps in, 481. And it just hits him. Lansford just hit. Lansford will take first. He does represent the tying run, and now some scary situations possible here as Rivera faces off against Canseco. 417, and Canseco draws a walk. Rivera now has 2 levels of fatigue, by the way. And up steps Big Mac, Mark McGwire, who has 8 home runs in the tournament. 241. McGwire is a righty, 241, and McGwire dribbles one back to Rivera. Rivera takes it over to first for out number 3 as the Yankees take the series and keep their hopes alive of coming back. Hernandez with the win. Rivera with the 4-out save. Made things a little interesting there in the 9th inning, but able to hold on for the win, for the Yankees win. Oakland, 2 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Yankees, 3 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. Paul O'Neill had the 2-run double in the 3rd, so that's pretty good. But I think overall, I'd give this game to Orlando Hernandez. 7 2/3 innings. 9 strikeouts. And kept Oakland on their toes. The real key play of this game was here in the 8th when Rivera came in with the bases loaded and 2 out and was able to strike out Terry Steinbach. Remember also 2 key plays where Dave Henderson, who's currently injured, would have made those plays, but instead they were doubles or worse. So that was really the key to the game here. Without those 2 plays, one of them was Paul O'Neill's triple here, and I believe the other one was Derek Jeter's double. So really this triple, which would have been a fly out, and they would have got out of this inning with no runs. So Oakland could have very easily won this game. Blankenship, though, his defense cost them. And they're going to be without Henderson for a few more games, actually. He's coming back the 13th, which is late in the series if it gets to that. So there you have it. Game 5 here in the series. The Yankees take it 3-2. And heading back here, we see that the Yankees have a shot now that Oakland and New York have both lost a series in the tournament. Oakland had topped the Yankees 3-1 in their prior meeting. So this was revenge for the Yankees. Meanwhile, the Braves are just going to be sitting for a week to see how this plays out. So, exciting game here in New York. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want to follow the action, consider checking out baseballmaelstrom.com. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll do more videos like this in the future. If you have any comments, leave those down below or things that you'd like to see. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great evening.